Nick Bostrom is a philosopher at Oxford University, and he is an expert on what we call the singularity, or the point where computers wake up. Here's a sound clip that I found on the internet of Nick Bostrom talking about the eventuality of humans being able to download their minds into computers.
So this is the what's in technical terminology whole brain emulation, or in more popular jargon, uploading. And so obviously it's impossible now, but it seems that it's consistent with everything we know about physics and chemistry and so forth. So I think that will become feasible, barring some kind of catastrophic thing that puts a stop to scientific and technological progress. So the way I imagine it would work is that you would take a particular brain, freeze it or vitrify it, and then slice it up into thin slices that would be fed through some array of microscopes that would scan each slice with sufficient resolution. And then automated image analysis algorithms would work on this to reconstruct the three-dimensional neuronal network that the original organic brain implemented. And I have this as a sort of computer information structure in a computer. At this point, you need computational neuroscience to tell you what each component does. So you need to have a good theory of what, say, a pyramidal cell does, what the different kind of... And then you would combine those little computational models of what each type of neuron does with this three-dimensional map of the network and run it. And if everything went well, you would then have transferred the mind with memories and personalities intact to the computer. And there's an open question of just how much resolution would you need to have, like how much detail would you need to capture of the original mind and actually to successfully do this. But I think there would be some level of detail, which, as I said before, might be on the level of synapses or thereabouts, possibly higher, that would suffice. So then you would be able to do this. And then after your software, of course, you could be copied or speeded up or slowed down or pulsed and stuff like that.
Pulsed. Did you guys hear him just say that? Pulsed. He just casually threw out that if we don't end up blowing ourselves up because the Sarah Palins of the world managed to get their slutty, manicured, fundamentalist Christian, psychopathic fingers on the detonation button of some nuclear arsenal, we could end up getting to the point where we could put our brains into high-tech deli machines / scanners and have our neurology downloaded into a computer. That could happen. And here's where it gets weird. It may have already happened. Dr. S. James Gates, the professor of physics and director of the Center for String and Particle Theory at the University of Maryland, has discovered something deep inside the superstring equations that he has been working on. Listen to this and get ready for your brain to melt out of your ears, down your back, and into the mouth of your cat.
These are pictures of equations. I've been, for the last 15 years, trying to answer the kinds of questions that my colleagues have been raising. And what I've come to understand is that there are these incredible pictures that contain all the information of a set of equations that are related to string theory. And it's even more bizarre than that, because when you then try to understand these pictures, you find out that buried in them are computer codes just like the type that you find in a browser when you go surf the web.
You're saying your attempt to understand the fundamental operations of nature leads you to a set of equations that are indistinguishable from the equations that drive search engines and browsers on our computers.
That is correct. So
Wait. I have to just be silent for a minute here. So you're saying as you dig deeper, you find computer code writ in the fabric of the cosmos.
Into the equations that we want to use to describe the cosmos, yes.
Computer code.
Computer code, strings of bits of ones and zeros.
It's not just sort of resembles computer code. You're saying it is computer code.
It's not even just is computer code. It's a special kind of computer code that was invented by a scientist named Claude Shannon in the 1940s. That's what we find very, very deeply inside the equations that occur in string theory. and in general in systems that we say are supersymmetric.
Friends, you have to bear in mind that this is not coming from someone smeared with hash butter and body glitter at the freakout tent at Burning Man. This is coming from very well-respected scientists, one of them postulating that there is a high probability that if we don't blow ourselves up, we're going to end up uploading our brains into computers, and the other saying that he's found digital code in the very depths of his superstring equations. Digital code that seems to have been invented in the 1940s. What does this imply? It implies that you and I and everyone you know are all part of a simulation being run inside a machine. For the longest time, we've always wondered and thought about what will happen when computers wake up. Now we're beginning to see that we are the computer waking up. We are the computer gaining consciousness of itself. So enjoy the Olympics.